"Love, you don't have to do it." That phrase, spoken gently by his wife, made 67-year-old Kim Junho's soul clench inside. He thought his love was deep and sincere, but his wife kept walking away without a word. Why was this happening? Oral stimulation is one of the most intimate and powerful ways to make a woman feel pleasure. However, many men don't fully understand how or where to focus. Most act in haste, focusing only on the most obvious areas, and that kind of rapid contact can cause a woman's body to tense up and her sensitivity to be completely shut down. There is one particularly sensitive spot, a soft area surrounding the back of the clitoris. There, a woman's pelvic nerves show an especially intense response. When stimulated with care and precision, it can generate a pleasurable reaction that runs throughout her body. However, if you apply pressure abruptly with the tip of your lips, as if giving a small prick, the sensation may be uncomfortable and the woman may withdraw. Therefore, instead, it's best to apply gentle pressure with your lips, maintaining a slow rhythm and accompanying it with a warm exhalation. This allows the pelvis to begin to gently open, and the sensations to extend even to the upper body. At that moment, not only does her body relax, but her mind also becomes completely calm. Even today, many men believe they are doing everything possible, but their wives may be silently suppressing what they truly feel. The truth is, if you stay until the end of this video, you will discover how to reconnect not only with your body, but also with your partner's inner world. This is not just another technique. It's an approach based on understanding, sensitivity, and knowledge. Before continuing, I invite you to subscribe, like, and tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. Thank you for being here and for sharing this space. Now, let's get started. Giving a woman pleasure through oral contact is not simply a physical skill, but a subtle art that unites body and mind in unison. And it all starts with one essential premise. Take your time. The female body doesn't usually react positively to sudden or immediate stimuli. Only when there is an atmosphere of trust and tension begins to fade, do the senses awaken and true enjoyment can flourish. The series of 5 steps I'm about to share with you has been proven over many years in couples counseling sessions and real-life clinical experiences. It's not an automatic or cold technique. It's an approach that combines scientific knowledge, emotional connection, and breath control. Step 1. Start from the inner thigh. A woman's inner thigh is closely connected to the sensory nerves that extend from the pubic bone. If you gently bring your lips closer and apply light pressure when kissing this area, you'll begin to awaken the autonomic nervous system's response. At this point, instead of using your tongue, your lips should ideally convey a sensation similar to a softly spoken, "I love you." This region isn't primarily designed to provoke immediate arousal, but rather to generate emotional calm and gradually prepare the body. If you notice her breathing deepening, her pelvis moving subtly, or there's a slight tension in her thighs, this indicates that the first stage is working. Step 2. Caress the outer edge of the thigh. This area plays a more important role in relieving emotional stress than in causing immediate arousal. By gently sliding your lips, applying light pressure, and then releasing it, the nerves in the skin begin to relax, and the internal pathway to pleasure begins to open. The key at this stage is to avoid any sudden movements or overly strong stimulation. Imagine you're gently knocking on the door before entering a house. This moment is an essential preparation phase. Pay attention to the subtle cues. The way she breathes, the expression in her eyes, and the slight tremors in her pelvis will tell you when and how to proceed. Step 3. Stimulation of the inner union. Ready to continue with that step whenever you want. The soft contact zone located on both sides, left and right, not in the center, of this intimate region, especially in the posterior EN region, is a key point. This is where many women can most easily experience climax, as it is the area with the highest concentration of nerve endings of the dorsal branch of the clitoris. Instead of applying pressure with the tips of your lips, it's best to use the sides of your lips, applying broad, slow, and steady pressure. This type of movement not only seeks to stimulate, but also to relax the nervous system and allow sensations to flow naturally. If at that moment you notice her pelvis moving unintentionally or her thighs contracting slightly, it's a clear sign that her nervous system is beginning to react. The fourth step involves adding breathing to the process, an aspect that many people often overlook. In addition to the stimulation achieved with your lips, the warm air gently escaping from your mouth also has a profound impact on a woman's body. Both her skin and mucous membranes respond very sensitively to temperature changes, and during arousal, this thermal stimulus directly influences her heart rate and blood circulation. If at any point you stop the movement of your lips and gently exhale warm air around her intimate area, her skin will absorb that heat, causing a deep blend of relaxation and tension in her autonomic nervous system. The ideal breathing pattern is to exhale slowly and deeply, pause briefly, and then exhale again. These pauses between each breath create a prolonged, expectant sensation, which actually becomes one of the key elements in intensifying pleasure. The fifth and final phase is based on making very gentle contact with one side of the intimate area, and then pausing. In the moments before climax, a woman's body reaches a very high level of sensitivity, but if stimulation is continuous and uninterrupted, there is a risk that this sensitivity will be reduced. Many men make the mistake of not stopping, believing that more is better. But in reality, this can trigger a reflex response in the female body, which diminishes or blocks the perception of pleasure. The best thing to do at this point is to gently brush a small area on the side. Think of the 10 or 2 o'clock position like on a clock face, using only the tip of your lips without touching the center, and then remain still for about 5 seconds. This pause isn't simply a moment of rest. The brain perceives this interruption as if the stimulus has ended, which leads the nervous system to automatically prepare for a new wave of more intense sensations. When the stimulation resumes, it breaks that buildup of tension and can trigger a deep and powerful reaction. This is a subtle but extremely effective technique, capable of gently and precisely guiding you toward climax. This set of 5 steps constitutes an approach to stimulation that prioritizes the natural flow of the body and emotions, leaving any rigid or automatic techniques in the background. The order in which they are applied, the pace at which they are performed, and the moments of pause are key. The more slowly and sincerely this process is practiced, the more both the body and the woman's inner world will open. In short, oral sex should not be understood solely as a physical practice, but as a science that involves sensitivity, presence, and the ability to interpret both emotions and bodily reactions. One of the most common mistakes is to think that greater speed or intensity automatically leads to better results. Many men, not seeing an immediate reaction, tend to speed up or apply more pressure, but the female body responds progressively. A sudden change or stimulation that is too rapid can generate tension and reduce pleasure instead of increasing it. It's also key to pay attention to the angle at which the stimulation is delivered, to avoid any uncomfortable contact with the teeth. Similarly, the intensity should be regulated delicately, neither too strong nor so soft that it becomes imperceptible. The key is knowing how to read the body's subtle signals. A change in breathing, a muscle contraction, or a change in facial expression. When that connection is lost, no matter how much intention and dedication there is, the female body can shut down and even feel hurt. There's a very special case that illustrates all this. It's the story of a couple whose relationship took a profound turn after applying this 5-step method. I'm talking about Lee Jong-woo, a 71-year-old man, and his wife. After 45 years of marriage, her reactions had faded over time, until it reached the point where, when they slept together, she would simply turn away silently, without saying anything. Lee thought he was doing his best, but his wife kept silently drifting away. That's when he decided to seek professional help and thoroughly review his behavior. Over time, he realized that although he had tried to connect through his lips, he had focused only on the most obvious areas, quickly, without considering his wife's rhythm or breathing. That's when he decided to begin practicing the 5-step stimulation method calmly and mindfully. At first, he spent 5 full minutes applying gentle pressure with his lips to the inner part of her thighs, slowly stroking from the edge of her intimate area to the point of junction, maintaining a steady rhythm. This time, instead of repeating what he usually did, he used the side of his lips to alternate between pressing and releasing, generating a harmonious flow accompanied by warm, conscious breath. In that decisive moment, when he barely touched the contour, avoiding the center of that sensitive area and then paused, his wife's body responded immediately. Her waist rose gently and a slight tremor ran through her. Wordlessly, he took her hand tightly, remaining there for several seconds, while she continued with her eyes closed. That night, for the first time in a long time, his wife told him, "I feel alive again. I haven't experienced anything like this in years." It was at that moment that Lee understood clearly. The problem wasn't a lack of love, but rather that he had misinterpreted what his wife truly felt. It wasn't a poorly applied technique, but rather a matter of how he conveyed his affection. By changing the way he expressed his emotions, something between them was rekindled, and they managed to reconnect on a much deeper level. To this day, that couple continues to hold hands with the sweetness of two young lovers, and they continue to share nights filled with true intimacy. Furthermore, for the female body to respond subtly to stimuli, it is essential that blood circulation is active and that the peripheral nerves maintain their sensitivity. No matter how delicate the oral stimulation, if the body feels heavy or the blood isn't flowing properly, the response will be slower and the path to climax will be longer. Therefore, as a complement to the 5-step method, it is very beneficial to add certain foods and exercises that promote blood flow and strengthen the muscles of the lower body. Recommended foods. Beets. This vegetable is an excellent source of natural nitric oxide, a compound that helps expand blood vessels and improve circulation, even in the smallest capillaries surrounding the female intimate areas. Avocado. It contains high levels of vitamin E and polyunsaturated fats, nutrients that contribute to hormonal balance in women and help reduce dryness in the vaginal mucosa, which promotes a more refined and receptive reception of stimuli. Recommended exercises. Kegel. This exercise helps strengthen the pelvic muscles, improving their elasticity and increasing blood flow in the area, which enhances the response during oral stimulation. It can be practiced while seated, and 3 to 5 repetitions a day are enough to notice its benefits. Hip stretches. These contribute to achieving a more natural posture that activates the sensitive nerves in the intimate area, in addition to improving the body's mobility and flexibility during sexual intercourse. In short, a good diet, some exercise, and the conscious practice of the 5-step method make the female body more sensitive and receptive. With small adjustments to your daily routine, you will notice how your wife's breathing, her gestures, and even the slight trembling of her fingers convey a clear feeling. My body is really waking up. What I shared with you is not a quick fix or a superficial technique. It's an intentional sequence that matches the rhythm with which the body opens, the natural reaction of the nervous system, and the time needed for emotions to be expressed freely. In summary, start from the inner thigh. Glide gentle caresses over the core. Apply gentle pressure to the surrounding areas. Integrate your breathing with the rhythm of the touch. Close with a single touch and a meaningful pause. By following this path step by step, her body gradually begins to open, allowing sensations to emerge naturally. When you tune into that rhythm and accompany it with your breathing, she will feel truly connected to her body. And if you complement this process with a nutritious diet, such as including beets or avocado, and add exercises like Kegels or stretches that strengthen the pelvic floor, her sensitivity will increase noticeably, responding more deeply than before. It's a subtle transformation, but when practiced with dedication, it can completely renew a couple's intimate life. And that moment will come when your wife smiles, squeezes your hand tenderly, and looking into your eyes says, "I haven't felt this in my body in so long." Perhaps many husbands and wives are thinking right now, even if they don't say it out loud, "I was authentic. So why couldn't she feel what I gave her? The answer lies precisely in what I just shared with you today. Love isn't communicated solely from the heart. When that feeling manifests through the body, the hands, and the breath, that's when the couple truly finds themselves again. And now the choice is yours. Tonight, gently bring your lips to the inside of her thigh. Then, her breathing, her shudders, and the way she looks at you will tell you without words. Now you've finally understood me. If you found this video helpful, I invite you to subscribe, leave your like, and activate the bell so you don't miss the next content. This space continues to grow with a commitment to accompany couples over 60 on the path of reconnecting from the deepest part, body and soul. I embrace you with affection and wish you a full and conscious love. Thank you for being on the other side. This content was shared with you by Clara on Life After 60.